struggling to find what kind of black
Okay, let's
man,
talk
because
about
there's
it.
black men all in Australia.
No. We have.
So what kind of black men are you struggling to find? Are you struggling to find a millionaire? Are you struggling to find somebody who's 6'3" with a six-pack stomach?
No.
Are you struggling to find someone who can finance a European expensive materialistic lifestyle?
No.
What kind of black man are you struggling to find?
The problem that I have with this is that I do not agree with everything that he says, but I do want to see more black marriages. I do want to see more black two-parent households. I do want to see more black nuclear families so that we can actually have communities. We can build communities and establish communities and practice group economics. What's going on, gentlemen? This is your man, Brandon Gio, one half of Residual Impact. And yo, check it. There's been a clip that's been going viral recently of Dr. Umar when he made a guest appearance on the Bittersweet podcast. Shout out to Wintana. Shout out to the Bittersweet podcast. This clip went viral and, it's been making its rounds for the last few days. And I've finally been able to react on it. So I definitely want to give my take on this particular viral clip that I saw on Twitter. So let's take a look.
Struggling to find what kind of black
okay,
man,
let's talk about
there's
it.
black men all in Australia.
No. We have.
So what kind of black men are you struggling to find? Are you struggling to find a millionaire? Are you struggling to find somebody who's 6'3" with a six-pack stomach?
No.
Are you struggling to find someone who can finance a European expensive materialistic lifestyle?
No.
What kind of black man are you struggling to find?
Let's talk about the culture in Australia versus the culture in America. I don't think it is quite different. It is.
No, it's not.
It is. I think now we're being more influenced.
One of the biggest mistakes that I find in the diaspora is we swear we're so randomly different. As probably the most traveled African in the Western Hemisphere, we're not that significantly different.
No, but we
there
are.
Might be something new. No, we're not. No, we're not.
I don't think black women. Okay, let's talk about it, because I'm getting dilemmas where women are talking about they're successful, they're in their careers, and they're looking for a decent guy. They're not asking for a man to earn triple the amount that he's earning. What is decent?
Give me 3 criteria for decent. I'm a psychologist. You must define the term. Give me 3 criteria for decent.
So he's emotionally intelligent.
Emotionally intelligent.
Okay.
Assuming she is as well.
Continue. He is a provider, so he's able to. Or he has a decent job. They are on the same.
What is a decent job? Define the term.
He makes an amount that is in the same tax bracket as the woman. Let's just say that the same tax bracket.
Okay.
Emotionally
Financial
intelligent.
equity.
Yes.
Okay.
I would just say he's a provider. He's nurturing, and he cares to build a family with her.
Okay.
Yeah.
So real quick, I just wanted to stop this right there. Going off of Wintana's criteria for what a decent man is, I want to go off of that real quick. Now, here's the thing. Nothing wrong with what she said at all. The problem that I have with this is that there are many women out there who can find men who match those 3 criteria, especially when it comes to finding men in their tax bracket. And especially when it comes to finding a man who can provide for his family and support a family. The issue is that a lot of women out there, not all, they want men who are not just in their tax bracket. They want men who are way above their tax bracket. A lot of these women out there, they want men who make way more than they do, because they don't just want a man who can provide for his family. They want a man who can provide them a lifestyle, a luxurious lifestyle.
Ladies, thank me later on this. Irish, Italian, Jewish. Okay? Irish, Italian, Jewish. Thank me later. Are the most giving, generous, providing man out there. All right? All most giving man I've ever been with, okay? Honey, trust me on this. Okay? When I first met the Jewish man and the Irish man literally gave me $1,000 the first day I met him. Because we were just talking and he was just asking me questions about how am I doing, and I told him something. And then the Jewish man gave me $1,500 literally the second day I met him. Shopping on the second date, gifts, Hermes gifts, bags, like investing in you, a new phone. The third date, like, I'm serious, ladies. One man that I was with who was Irish, and our second date gave me $3,300. second date. All right? Just do it, because you're their woman. All right? So, ladies, let's be smart out here.
Trips, handbags, cars, fancy homes, whatever the case may be. And there's nothing wrong with black women wanting to live a life of luxury. But here's where the issue lies in that. There are a lot of women who don't want to build with a man in order to live that life of luxury together. They want the finished product. And I know I'm kind of jumping the gun here because, of course, I've seen the whole clip already, but I just want to say that they want him to already be established or way more established than she is so that he can not only provide for himself, but he can provide for her and provide for children if they have children, and they can live a luxurious lifestyle together. That doesn't always work because what some of these women do when they meet these guys is they don't properly vet them. They may ignore a lot of red flags because the main thing they're looking for is a man with money. Ask the new trophy wife, Isis, how that's going for her.
Hey ladies, welcome back to The New Trophy Wife. Today I'm going to be sharing my story with you guys about how I went from being a single mom to a spoiled housewife in less than 1 year. And you can too.
A few moments later.
Unfortunately, it's been a little over a month since I had to end up leaving my husband.
And she said that she got her mindset from Shira 7.
And after learning quickly that everything that glitters is not gold, I happened to come across Shira 7 on YouTube.
Sprinkle, 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 sprinkle.
And she completely changed my life. And she basically taught me what a high value man is and what to look for when trying to find a husband.
She took a lot of lessons from Shira 7. So look at how that's going for her.
I honestly don't even really know where to start with this, just because it's just such a hard topic.
And the question?
And the question is, women are struggling to find men that they can date.
Okay, couple things. Number one, black women cannot, shall not, should not expect a black man to be able to provide them with the same type of a lifestyle that a Caucasian can provide for the white female, because the Caucasian benefits from white privilege, the black man suffers from white racism. So we should not be, no sister should be looking for a European equivalent or an African equivalent of a European. A black man has to work twice as hard to get half as much. So although I can appreciate the financial equity, but if you are a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer as an African woman in Australia or America or the UK or Toronto or Johannesburg, looking for a black man who has financial equity with your type of career success, that's going to be difficult. You might got to tone it down a little bit. What I find as a therapist who works with couples, married, divorced, and otherwise, too often black women prioritize a man's income over his masculinity, meaning he can provide. He's willing to help with those children. He will nurture you, look out for you, but he might not be able to put you in a Mercedes. He might not be able to help you with that $1 million mortgage. And I've seen black women turn down good men, very good men, because he didn't have the economics, but he had everything else. Sisters need to be careful not to fall into this European narrative of judging men primarily by how much they make.
So to that point, I kind of agree with Dr. Umar. And keep in mind, while I'm reviewing this, I do not agree with everything that he says ever. But just certain things that he talks about, I do agree with him and I do kind of like follow him on. On that last point before I paused the video, I did agree with, you know what I'm saying? I don't believe that our women, our sisters, our black women should necessarily judge us men on just our income. There should be way more that they look for within a man. And this kind of reminds me of that viral Tyler Perry video from last year where he was on a podcast and he had some similar choice words to say and women cooked him. Y'all remember this video?
Listen, a lot of women, especially black women, and I might get in trouble for saying this, but I will, in our society right now, black women are making a lot more money for the most part than black men, right? There are a lot of black men who are successful, but for the most part, black women are making the money. So if you can find love if that man works, at whatever job and is a good man and is good to you and honors the house and honors his wife and does what he can because his gift may not be your gift.
Exactly.
That is okay. That's not somebody who's beneath you.
Yeah.
That's somebody who came to love you at your worth, right?
Yes.
And as long as he's secure in himself to know that, yep, she makes most of the money. All I can pay is the light bill. As long as she's comfortable enough to say, I'm going to cover the mortgage and all the other stuff. You pay the light bill, baby. You can take me to dinner every now and then. That is fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But that's so hard for a lot of people to take in because that means, no. I need somebody to, they need to make 5 times more and I got to have, go on, keep your list, baby.
Yeah.
God bless you. Hope it happens. Go on, keep your list.
So yeah, women just lit him up because their main thing was, well, why should I settle? Why are people telling black women that we always have to settle and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. Like, listen, nobody's saying that you should settle. We're just saying that maybe you should adjust your criteria for finding a man a little bit. If you're struggling so much to find a man, adjust the criteria a little bit. Everything does not always have to be about money. Again, as I turn to my statement that I said earlier, ask Isis, the new trophy wife, how that situation is going. And I'm leaving the children out of that. The babies are innocent. But when you're strictly focusing on a man's income, when you're strictly dealing with a man just because of his income and you move in with him super soon, you don't vet him properly, you get married to him ASAP, and it's mostly based on his money, what he can do for you, the trips, the handbags, the cars, whatever the case may be, you end up creating a video years later talking about you married a monster. Well, you probably would have known that this dude was a monster had you properly vetted him and not just looked strictly at his money. Anywho, let's get back to this.
I can agree with that. I think that these are two extreme scenarios here. Because I think if a man we're talking about financial equity, if he is making enough to build a household with you, to be a leader in the household, I think women are okay with that. I think that's not what they're getting. I think they're getting the other end of the spectrum. That's what we're hearing. You know what I mean?
Would you have a problem if you met a man who made half of what you made or a third of what you made, but he had a financial vision of an empire, a business, some sort of an entrepreneurial undertaking?
See, I think that's dangerous.
Stay with me.
I think that's dangerous.
Let me finish it, and then I want you to respond. And he needed you to help invest in his dream. And he gave you a definitive timeline. He said, give me 12 months or 24, no more than that. If you invest in me, I promise you what I'm going to build will equal where you are. Would you have a problem investing in him?
What does investing in him mean?
Let's say he needed $700 a month to help fuel this dream. He needed $700 for 24 months. Could you do it? You're reluctant.
I am
reluctant.
I am reluctant because what's the guarantee?
There is no guarantees in love. There is no guarantees in romance.
And
If
also,
you need a
I think
guarantee,
context matters. How long
I
have
agree.
we been together?
I agree.
You know, if it's just a guy that I met last year and all of a sudden he has these dreams and
No,
he
y'all
wants me
been
to
dating
fund
for
it.
about 2 years. You like him. There might even be some love there. And he's saying
There might be
invest
some
in
love
me.
there is crazy. There has to be some love there.
Let's say there
There
is.
has to be a future there. And I think that's what I'm saying. Context matters. If I see myself
But
with this
you didn't
man.
answer the question. Let's say
Yeah.
all those things are there. Will you financially invest in him? Be honest, my queen. They already answered for you. They said hell to the nizzo.
Yeah. Look.
Why not, though? Why do you have a problem with that? Given the atmosphere of racism and economic oppression that black men suffer in Australia, why would you have a
But what
problem
are black
investing
men
in your
subject
king?
to that women are not? We're
Say that
going
again.
through the same thing.
True, but it operates differently. The racism against black men is significantly more aggressive than the racism against black women. Now, I don't want to get into an oppression Olympics because I agree with you. We all suffer and we suffer together. But a man's primary responsibility is to be a provider. And we don't feel adequate as men when we can't provide. So your king, who you love, who you've been dating for 2 or 3 years, is saying, baby, invest in me for these 18 to 24 months. And I promise you I will cross that finish line. You're still reluctant.
I'm
Why?
reluctant. I'm reluctant. As my husband, if we were married and something like that happened, of course, I would be open to doing that.
But would you be open to even marrying him if he was not the provider you needed him to be? He's saying, help me level up so can become the person you want to marry. He's asking you to help him level up.
I think.
Let me tell you why you're reluctant. And I don't have a problem with your reluctance, but I want to explain something.
Okay.
And I want all my young sisters to hear me. A big difference between the snow bunny and the African queen is the snow bunny will find a black man in progress. She will find him on the job. She will find him on the university. And that snow bunny will see a black man with potential, and she will invest in him. She will help him level up. And then when the sisters see him 5 years later, he's a millionaire. And the sisters say, look at that sellout. He went and got a white girl. But guess what? When he was looking for a sister to help him level up, to invest in him, none of them wanted it. You know why? Too many black women want a finished product. Black women have to, stay with me. Black women have to stop expecting men to be a finished product. It's harder on us. Help him level up.
What?
Stay with me. Help him level up and become what you need him to be. Because the big reason why these snow bunnies are running off with black men is they're meeting them when they have nothing, but they believe in their vision. And black women are waiting for him to cross the finish line. And by the time he crosses the finish line, the snow bunny done snatched him already.
All right. Again, going back to what I said earlier, I do not agree with everything that Dr. Umar says. I know that the scenario that he threw out there was a hypothetical, but as far as a woman investing $700 into a man that maybe they've been together for a little while, and he said, give me 12 months or 2 years. If you keep investing in me, I promise you, you'll get a return on that investment. I don't agree with that. Especially the dollar amount that he threw out there, $700. I don't agree with that. But hey, to that I say, do what works best in your relationship. If there's a situation to where, any ladies that are watching this, if there's a situation to where your man is down and he needs your help, or he might need you to help him get back on his feet, by all means, I definitely agree with that. You know what I'm saying? But for the $700, investing $700 a month into a person for 2 years, 1 to 2 years, I personally don't agree with that. But hey, to each his own. But what I will say is he made a valid point when it came to snow bunnies versus sisters. And I hate using the term snow bunnies, but let's just go with it. He made a valid point when he was talking about snow bunnies investing in their men versus sisters when it comes to finding a brother. The first thing that came to my mind when I heard Dr. Umar mention this was the recent NFL draft. And not even just the recent NFL draft, but every year during the NFL draft, there's always a conversation about how these athletes have their white girlfriends with them when they're drafted to play for a certain team. Even to a viral tweet from a few months ago when the NFL draft happened earlier this year, there was a tweet that went viral, but has since been deleted because this woman, I guess she was getting a lot of backlash for it and she didn't want the smoke. But she said, not even going to lie, seeing all black athletes with white girlfriends at every draft makes my blood boil. It's borderline shameful. These brothers getting drafted and they have white girlfriends standing next to them. Makes her blood boil. But it goes back to what Dr. Umar said. These women saw the potential in this man and they were willing to invest in this man or stick beside this man. And then when he finally made it, he's bringing her along because she was with him shooting in the gym. And if more sisters understood that and they looked at the men with potential, especially at a younger age, right? Granted, I'm not saying sisters have to do this, but if I think if more women looked at these type of men, and I'm not talking about the bad boys that they typically look for and they see a potential in him to become Tupac in a suit, who's God-fearing and goes to church every Sunday, but still be quick to, ride around with a stick with the switch on it and, do a drive-by on the block. Like, not seeing the potential in those type of brothers, but seeing the potential in somebody who's actually trying to do something with his life. And then investing in that potential by being by his side, encouraging that man, pouring into that man, shooting with him in the gym. When he comes up, you're going to benefit from that. Now, I will say this. Majority of black men in the United States are married to black women. So we are all, as a unit, doing something right. However, I do want to see more black marriages. I do want to see more black two-parent households. I do want to see more black nuclear families so that we can actually have communities. We can build communities and establish communities and practice group economics so that we can continue to thrive and flourish I want to see more of that. That is why we here at Residual Impact make the content that we make. It might not all make sense up front, but all of our content ties together. And we're definitely going to continue to tie everything together next year so that you guys will see the greater picture. Like, we want to create a solution for everybody. So with that being said, I know this video has gone on long enough. I thank each and every single one of you guys for watching today. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that like button down below. It's completely free and it helps the channel out greatly. Also, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. Don't forget to click that notification bell so you never miss when we upload a new video for you. And don't forget to drop a comment because a lot was said in today's video. So let's talk about it. All right? Till next time, you know I can't leave without saying where you are today is a residual outcome of the thoughts you had in the past. Till next time, peace.